Hey everybody, thanks so much for watching. Today, a comparison between the CZ P10 and the CZ P07. A couple of polymer frame firearms from CZ that are designed for carry. And along the way, I'll try to reference, this is the prior model of the CZ polymer frame hammer-fired pistol, the P07. The new version is called the P09 Nocturne, and it has several upgrades to the P07. I'll try to notate those as I go along, just so you can kind of decide whether you prefer a CZ polymer frame striker fire pistol or a CZ polymer frame hammer-fired pistol. I am certainly obsessed with the CZ P75 platform, and our CZ75 platform rather, and I have had the P07 as a carry in my carry rotation for quite a while now. I have not picked up the P09 because I love this gun so much. I didn't really need any of the upgrades that are available. I may pick up a P09 in the future. A friend of the channel lent me his P10 so I could see how the striker fire shoots. This is the first CZ striker fire pistol I've ever really dealt with, and actually liked it quite a bit. I wasn't really good with it at the range, didn't have a ton of time with it, but I did like it quite a bit. So again, I'll kind of look at the two side by side to see what I like and dislike about them. And while I'm sitting here with both guns empty with no mag well and one magazine here, the first thing I want to call out, they both take 15 round mags and they are interchangeable. The P07 mag will fit into the P10 and vice versa. So that's one thing I want to get out of the way quickly. Other than that, there's a few differences and a few similarities and quite a few differences. And I'll just kind of start there. Again, the $1 million difference though is, do you want hammer fire or striker fire? And there's various reasons you may or may not want one or the other. Look at dimensions. The P10 striker fire pistol is slightly longer than the P07 or P9. Slightly longer, not a ton. You do see it has a longer sight radius versus the P07. So you have a longer sight radius there. The P07 is slightly taller and slightly fatter, so it makes it a little easier to carry. The P10 can still carry by just a little bit. I'll have them side by side. You can see that they have, on the P07, 3-dot sight set up there. On the P09, you have blacked out rear notch with a kind of an orange front post there. The P10 rather is optics ready. My P07 was not. I do believe the P09 Nocturnes do come optics ready, so that's one good reason that you could upgrade from the P07. I will note real quick, one of my favorite channels to watch on YouTube is The Honest Outlaw, and he is a massive fan of the P07. He has put his through hell and back. His is beat to death, and he swears by it. I think he sent to Cajun Gun Works to have the trigger Cajunized, but uber reliable. The P07 is supposed to be, and I've had mine for several years with zero reliability issues. I only have maybe 50 rounds to the P09. It also seemed to work really well. But again, back up top, similar, the P09 will give you optics options where the P10 already comes with that. Both have front and rear cocking serrations, here and here. But you will note that the P10 forgoes CZ's signature look of the inverted rail system and has rails that ride on the outside of the frame, whereas the P07 keeps the CZ75 mentality and has rails that ride inside the frame there. So you can see side by side rails inside the frame and outside the frame. I think that's one big difference of the two. I don't know that one has more of a lower bore axis than the other. Many people, including myself, oftentimes said that the CZ75 and P07 had low bore axis because of the inverted rail system. I don't know that they really do. I like at this gun in my hand, it doesn't really seem to set much lower. You've got just a small distance between my thumb and the barrel there. It actually even sets a little bit higher on the P07. So the striker fired gun actually may have a lower bore axis than the hammer fired gun, very much like a Glock. So even without the inverted rail system, it sets lower in your hands. Shooting wise, they both look very similar. Sorry, I don't have range footage for these two while I have this gun on loan at the moment. It's a quick video I want to throw together just to look at them side by side. So inverted rail versus standard rail, but actually a lower bore axis here. The CZ P07 does have ambi decocker, and this trigger does come with the Omega trigger system, which lets you do either a decocker or a safety. So you can carry this gun in double action, single action with the one of the round decocked. So you have double action for first pull and the second pull, or you can change this for safety and carry it cocked and locked a la 1911, whichever you prefer. The P10 is a striker fire system, which has the safety dingus on there, and that is your safety feature, and that is the only way to carry it. Grip texturing, I love the grip texturing on the P07, and I think it's been upgraded on the P09 Nocturne, so I don't know the differences there, but you've got some checkering on the front here, and then very good texturing on the side there, and you do have adjustable back straps on both. This one does have a nice beaver tail and sits in my hand nicely. It feels great. I think I have the standard, normal, regular size back strap on here, but you do have different options for making that more customizable. Again, I do love the texturing here, but I think it was quote unquote upgraded on the P09. I like the P10 texturing less actually. It's more consistent on the front strap here and the sides and back panel. It actually is not painful, but you definitely feel it in your hands more. You definitely feel the ribbing on there. And if that were to happen to be against your skin, it may not feel great if you were carrying it inside the waistband. So those are kind of the cosmetic external differences of the two, and technical like size differences. The other big difference, the big thing to talk about, is the trigger on them. And again, double action, single action versus striker, so all the difference in the world. It's your preference. The P07 does give you more options if you want to carry it cocked and locked versus double action, single action. And the trigger is nothing to write home about unless you have it cajunized, which I have not. Again, you can decock this thing, and the first double action pull is heavy. You do have a small bit of take up here, and then you get the wall, and you can see my finger turn red, and it breaks. Nothing fantastic at all, but it's a duty trigger. You won't pull it on accident. The reset is decent with some take up, and you're at the wall, and it breaks. So again, that I shoot well, and with lots of practice, I shoot it really well actually. But the trigger is nothing special. This is one gun that I am considering sending to Cajun Gun Works. Just have it quote unquote Cajunized, see how much better they can make it. The P09, or the P10 rather, actually surprised me how good of a trigger it really is. Because, again, it's striker fired, and you have the safety dingus you must engage. A little bit of take up there, and you're straight at the wall, and that breaks. And then again here, really short reset, and you're right back at the wall. So I really, really like the trigger on the P09. In general, I like hammer fire pistols better. I like double action, single action better. I like the safety of having my thumb on the hammer while I carry it, and there's no way you're going to accidentally pull that. But I do love the trigger on the P10. It really surprised me how much I liked it. I wasn't any better at the range with this trigger versus this trigger when I did get to shoot them briefly. Again, I apologize, no footage here. But again, I was surprised how much I liked it, but I still love my P07 the most. So if I had to choose one, we'll still stick with a P07, but I thought if you're curious about a CZ carry option, whether it's the P07/P09 Nocturne or the P10, I want to do a quick side-by-side video comparison for you. Again, we'd love to hear your thoughts. If you have one or the other, what do you like and why? And as always, thank you so much for watching.